Hey, thanks for joining us. This is Calling All Cupids, where you play matchmaker. We all have those friends and relatives who have been on and off the dating apps with no luck. We're Sue and Tamar, and we're trying something different. We're not matchmakers, although Tamar did set me up with my husband.
Every episode, we present someone looking for love, a love seeker. We chat with them and those close to them. This is where you come in. You're our Cupids. If you have someone you know who is a catch and you think would be a good fit for our love seeker, reach out and let's see if we can make a love connection. Hi, Sue.
Hey, Tamar, how are ya?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I am two chemo sessions away from being done.
Woo!
I know. So my last date is June 19th,
Oh
and
my God.
my hair is growing back, and I'm starting to feel more like myself some days and others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you still are very much in the chemo.
I'm still in chemo, and it still takes a toll. I'm pretty tired afterwards, not the whole time, but it lasts.
What about the nausea
The
and
nausea, I keep under control with good medication. As soon as I feel like a little bit queasy, I take one of these nausea pills, and that really
okay.
helps. I have more, I would say, more gastro problems than uh,
Okay.
the nausea, but and the fatigue is like for sure the thing I
Biggest.
notice the most, which I can deal with. I mean, and from my understanding, it's you stop the chemo and you start feeling better. It takes a while, but you know, I will feel better along the way until I feel better,
Right.
if that makes sense. And I'm ready.
Yeah. And the numbers are good. Everything's looking
Right
good.
now, everything is good. It's we talked about this at chemo. Like I've been through breast cancer before. I didn't do chemo last time. I did radiation last time. But, sometimes when you go to these places, they have the bell and you ring the bell. And
Yeah.
I'm not a real proponent of that. I feel it's a little bit, especially having rung the bell, last time for the radiation
Yeah.
and then being back here. There's something
You're
about that.
also Jewish, and there's something about tempting fate.
Yeah, and there's also like the other people there that are still going through it that I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it can be motivating and
Inspirational. Yeah.
inspirational, but it also feels like, oh shit,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be doing that, but I am going to be, celebrating for sure
Yeah.
as I can.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then this weekend was really exciting.
Very exciting.
So my daughter, my 26-year-old daughter, went down to Asheville where Tamar lives with her boyfriend and they got engaged.
Woo.
And that's like,
I
uh,
know they stayed with me and I got to do their engagement photos.
and it's, it makes what we're doing here make even more sense. Like how happy I see them
Right.
and finding your person and
Yeah.
knowing like they're so cute together, aren't they?
They're
Oh
so
my
cute. And I
God.
was telling you earlier that they just seem so easy together. Like they're kind to one another. They gel well. There was no bickering, there was no tension. It just felt really easy. And
That's amazing.
yours wasn't always the easiest. So,
No, this is like, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that, this particular child has been, and what do I want to say? She's been really challenging, and not always the happiest person. And to see her so settled and to have made such a good choice, and it's just remarkable. I would
yeah.
never have expected this. And couldn't be happier. But
Yeah.
thank you so much because they needed another mother down there to get this to happen, you know?
Yeah. Well, I had a really good time with them. It was lovely. It really was lovely. We had a nice time together.
Well, yeah, and I mean they couldn't be happier. So it's fun now getting all the, postings and people congratulating and
Yeah.
just like
Now you have a wedding to plan.
now I have a wedding to plan. She's got it. Believe me, she'll be planning it.
Okay.
I will be, yeah, her Halloween themed wedding. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on to our interview today. We are interviewing another young person who is sort of around the same age as our kids. And Tori is lives in Philadelphia and is looking for somebody in Philadelphia, really does not want somebody outside of the Philadelphia area. She is open to any gender identity, cis men, cis women, trans women, really open. It's more about the person for her. She is Jewish, and that is pretty important to her, I would say, the Jewish identity. Quite an activist, but I think we should just let Tori speak and share a little about herself. Should we dive in?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's
Okay.
listen.
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Sue.
Hi guys. Hey there.
Hi.
Let's start. Victoria, how about if you tell us a little bit about yourself? Let's start with some of the basics, your age, where you live, what you do, and then we'll get into some deeper stuff.
Sure. I am 28 years old. I live in Philadelphia. I work as a domestic violence advocate, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay. We're excited to have you here. What are you looking for in a relationship? Tell us a little bit. And
Sure.
also again, let's start with some of the specifics like gender, age range, and then we'll get into qualities, stuff like that.
hmm I don't have strong preferences around gender. I have a lot of strong preferences around traits, but I've dated men, women, and non-binary people, and for me, it comes down to a lot of other things besides gender. And the age range, I think I'm probably looking for like 26 to 35. And it's important to me for now that they live in Philadelphia or are close enough by and have a car.
And what about qualities? What draws you to a person? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for somebody who has done a lot of therapy and can take care of themselves when they need it, but also is okay with being cared for, and somebody we can go on adventures together. And there's so much to learn about the world all the time, even when it feels like a really terrible place. So I think that partnership, you gotta be friends. You gotta like each other and respect each other and want the best for each other. So yeah, it would help if they're like curious and driven and in whatever way that means for them, and that they are politically leftist and willing to demonstrate that sometimes with being in the streets. But, not everybody is a protest person, and that's okay. But for me, I don't think at this point I could date somebody centrist and definitely not conservative. So.
What are some of your hobbies? What are some of the things you like to do? And how important is it to you that your partner share those hobbies or interests?
Um, I think that with a lot of identity traits or behavior traits in a partner, it's like, well, this would like be cool, but I'm also open to whatever weird combination of traits a person is up to. That being said, I'm petting my cat right now. I like to hang out with him. I would definitely prefer a partner who is not allergic to cats. I sing in a feminist choir. I run their community outreach, and I volunteer with a reproductive rights group. I like hanging out with my friends, and I like making music. I don't think I've ever had a partner before who could really keep a tune, and it was fine, but it would be really sweet to find somebody that I could harmonize with, like
I love that.
literally. So,
I love that.
yeah.
Sue, do you have any questions? You're muted, Sue. I don't know if you've been talking at all at some point, but
I had
yeah.
to sneeze, so I
Oh,
muted.
okay.
Good work.
Are you a musician, a singer? What kind of music do you do?
Yeah, I sing. I have mainly done that in the context of community choirs and when I was a kid, musicals. I have a super musical family. My brother and sister are music therapists, and my mom got us all into piano lessons when we were young. But I think one of the hallmarks of why I appreciate her as a mom is that in sixth grade, when I was like, I don't want to practice anymore, she was like, well, then you can quit piano. You are allowed.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, singing, I've always been like interested in learning guitar and drums, but never really put in the work. So that would be a fun thing to do coming up.
Hmm.
Why why this method for finding a partner and why now?
I have never liked the apps. I don't know anyone who really likes it. It's sort of another method of work to me, of judging people and being judged and trying to curate a certain version of myself. And I feel like this is just how one of the ways that people find matches is by talking to people who take the chance to get to know them and what they want. And for right now, I feel like I'm looking for balance in a lot of areas of my life, like balance and good boundaries. And for now, when I've been dating, I've been doing it with a certain level of remove of like, we're having fun, but this isn't something I expect to stick around. And I want you to know that. I want to be honest about where I am right now. So I'm not like looking for somebody to settle down with necessarily, but I think I'm looking for a deeper level of connection than I have at the moment.
Okay. And just to follow up on that long term, are you looking for marriage, kids, or just more of a life partner? And
I think,
also
yeah,
monogamy, non-monogamy, so let's just talk about that too. Go ahead.
just get it all out the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I think life partner. I think that marriage is important to me in the context of health insurance and having a fun party. I think that actually you can get around having both of those without having a marriage license though. If you're in like a committed partnership for a certain length of time, but it's never come up for me, so I've never learned about that. Yeah, I think a lot of my behavior is in context with my siblings because both of them like came out as queer in some way well before I did and also ended up dating their current partners for like many years and then marrying them. And I'm technically the oldest child by 1 minute. And so that's my twin sister, younger brother. The reason I'm explaining this is because they both got married in the past 2 years. We had a real wedding season in the family. And before that, my mom got remarried to her amazing husband. So I had a lot of time to think about like when or if this comes from me, what do I want to do? And I feel like for me, being queer is a politics as well as an identity of like, I get to choose. There's so many people in the world who don't want us to be able to, but I get to choose what my life looks like. I don't have to do stuff just because it's like expected or that's what the picket fence looks like. And I think that marriage is not the same thing as commitment, especially because I've seen divorces in my family. And that's great because you can start over. You can find love in a different way. And I've also been single for a lot of my life while my siblings and my mom have been partnered. So I'm at this point used to being the seventh person at the table. And I've had a lot of time to like make peace with that and be like, I'm fine right now. I don't need a partner to be fine. But if it's someone who would add to my life, then long-term partnership is what I'm looking for.
Okay. And I love that. And kids?
No kids.
No kids. Okay. Sue?
Do you have any deal breakers, things that are completely...
No smokers, no abusers, and they need to live in Philly.
Okay. Describe a good day with your partner? And it could be like a vacation, a date night, or just a regular day, weekend day, for example.
Yeah. Wow. I'm kind of stressed at work right now, so vacation sounds really nice. But I feel like a more regular day, just like I can picture that more clearly right now. I think that a nice regular day with a partner would involve waking up maybe together or maybe living separately. Like I was just talking to a friend the other night and she was like, that's really important to me that I be able to live separately. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So waking up together and playing with the cat, making breakfast together, going to, if it was a Saturday, probably going to abortion clinic defense where we like stand in front of the anti-abortion folks and tell them to stop being weird and leave patients alone. That's actually been such an interesting like barometer of some of the people I'm dating. I have taken them to clinic defense and some of them are like, they can't really hang. Like it's hard for them. And I get that, but it's very interesting. Yeah. So we would go to clinic defense. We'd go to Reading Terminal, get something good to eat after that. Maybe find a place that we like have never been to before because there's so much in there. Probably take SEPTA back to my place because I must simply ride SEPTA every day. And have some friends over to like have a craft party. Everybody's like kind of doing their own thing, but doing it together. And then we kick people out at the hour at which we wish them to leave. And maybe my partner goes home to their place and maybe they stay with me. And yeah, we've just spent a day like connecting with other people together and telling stories about our favorite parts of the day.
Okay, I like that. What do you feel like you bring to a relationship? What's great about you?
Once it takes like kind of a shockingly low amount of information and connection about a person for me to really want them to succeed at whatever they want in life. I just have an interesting worldview where I'm sometimes cynical, but also pretty hopeful that people are good. And for the people that I care about, I'm just 110% behind them as a supporter, as a sounding board, as a friend. And I have the ability and the confidence to turn around in the middle of a party in a crowded room and ask everybody, wait, hold up. this guy just said he doesn't think that people in South Philly can be in polycules. What do y'all think about that? I'm, it's been hard won. There's been a lot along the way, but I'm a pretty confident person who says what she thinks. And you're never gonna wonder. I mean, maybe after a few therapy sessions or something, if it's a really hard conversation, but ultimately, you're never gonna wonder where you stand with me. If I'm unhappy with something, then I'll let you know and we can like work through it. And if I'm happy with something, I believe in telling people the good impact that they have on me. Yeah, and I'll call you on your shit.
Okay. That makes me wonder, do you know what your love languages are?
I think probably time, spending time together, and but also weirdly enough, the gift of leaving me alone when I want to be left alone.
Okay. So
And
not somebody
yeah,
too neat. It sounds like from everything you're saying, you want to walk the walk with someone, but you don't want somebody who's going to be like Velcro, whose identity is feeds off of yours, I guess, in some way.
yeah, I've tried it. It doesn't, it makes me feel very trapped and it's sort of bad for the person that I'm dating because I'm like, I care about you so much, but it feels like you care about me a little too hard.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe that's not the healthiest thing. Maybe I need to be a little more open in that respect, but I think you're right that the theme is wanting to be with someone who knows themselves, the good parts, the bad parts, the weird parts, and is able to have the emotional maturity to fight fair, to notice when things are getting difficult for them and take active steps towards making them better. And yeah, I mean, just for context, I've had major depression for a long time. It feels like I think I was like diagnosed 7 years ago or something. And it's because I have a great psychiatrist and therapist right now. I'm fine. But there have been times that I broke up with a really great person when I was super depressed because I was like, I don't think that I can care for you the way that I want to. And yeah, so like not to be a bummer about it, but I would definitely like to like get to know someone who understands like that mental health can rise and fall and someone who can hang during the tough times and maybe I'll be brave enough to let somebody take care of me during the times that I'm struggling.
Yeah, I like that. Do you know the book The Missing Piece by Shel Silverstein?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminds me a little of that, of just kind of being your whole self, but rolling
Together.
along with another complete person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it
Victoria,
is.
what do you read? Are you reading anything these days?
Yeah, I just divided. This is definitely an interesting insight in who I am. I just divided my like future holds list on the library website, which was about 130 books
Oh my.
gathered over time, not like immediately, but I just gathered that up into the categories like financial activism, mental health, self-improvement, revolution education, which is like different like identity histories and fun novels. It's like,
Uh,
oh, dang, I can actually enjoy stuff. That's
yeah.
crazy. So those are some of the categories of what I like to read. And one of my most recent favorite fun novels that was pretty serious but also pretty funny was The Wedding People. So,
Yeah, I read that. That was fun.
yeah, I think we have similar tastes in books too. I
Sounds
think,
like
you
it.
know,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh, how about Celebrity Crush?
Zendaya.
Oh yeah.
Um, but also Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Moana.
Okay, I'll have to look her up.
She's cute.
Yes, Zendaya,
I
I
really
know who.
I realized with a couple friends the other day that like even though all of the people that I've dated have been like pretty different from each other in a lot of ways, the two people that I like have crushes on but can not ever date because one of them is straight and the other one is happily, well, they're both happily married, but one of them is straight. Is older Jewish, very successful in their fields, female musicians. And I
Ah.
really hope that I'm not telling on myself to anybody who knows who these two people are. But the unattainable bit is the problem. I need to be shooting not for really beautiful women in their 50s and 60s, but for like really beautiful women maybe in their 30s. So
Yeah.
Are these musicians people you know personally, or oh, they are. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I don't know that I mentioned this in my like deal breakers or preferences section. I would really like to meet someone Jewish. I feel like it would cut down on the splaining I have to do on my life and the way I talk and the holidays I celebrate, which would be nice. I did a lot of like Jewish education for one of my previous partners who had really met very few Jewish people. And on one hand, I was like, I'm glad I can do this for you. And on the other hand, I was like, I just wish you knew what I meant when I was talking about matzah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like a strong preference for nice Jews. But I'm also open to atheists and people of all faiths as long as they're cool with mine.
Okay.
Okay.
And maybe somebody Jewy, like somebody
Yep.
who's not Jewish but grew up around Jews and knows some Yiddish words and knows
Uh-huh.
what matzah is.
Yes.
Must know
Perhaps
what
a New
matzah
Yorker
is.
who has moved to Philly.
Yeah.
Great.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right.
Well, this
Yeah.
was fun. Fun
Really
chatting
nice
with
talking to
you.
you.
And let's find you your person. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so now we're going to hear from Tori's twin sister, Sarah. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sue.
Hi,
Hi, Sarah. It's so nice to meet you.
you as well. Thanks for having me.
So, Sarah, tell us your connection to Victoria. Let's start there.
I am Victoria's sister, her twin to be exact. We are fraternal twins.
And tell us into your mind, what makes Victoria great? Why should somebody want to date her? And what will she bring to a relationship?
I think that I know her, or I call her Tori, which a lot of her friends and family do as well. And I think Tori is just someone who deeply cares about the world around her. And not just in a way that you hear about most people being a caring person of, they check in with their friends and family, they donate to causes they care about. Her type of caring is deeply social justice oriented, and she really devotes her time and I would say her life up to this point to causes that she cares about and people that she cares about. She's done a lot of work in the food sharing community in Philadelphia. She is very much involved in abortion rights activism. She volunteers every Saturday morning, bright and early, for clinic defense to kind of protect the patients that are involved at the clinic and to make sure that the protesters of the clinic know that they are not welcome there. And that's kind of just one of the many examples of who she is and how she spends her time in a way that really reflects her values. something that I have admired about her for a very long time.
What about in relationships?
In relationships, I think she is similarly caring. She is a very kind and empathetic person. And I think she really brings that to both to family relationships and romantic relationships. When you are speaking with her, you can really feel that she is listening to you and that she's there with you and deeply cares about where you're coming from and what's important to you. So I think that she could really benefit from someone who is coming from a similar place that is as deeply interested in trying to get to know her as she is the world around her.
Is she more silly, serious, introverted, extroverted? Like, give us a flavor of just kind of when you first meet her, what energy she puts out.
I think when you first meet her, she is very outgoing and can be more on the silly side. She is definitely someone who really enjoys going out and being with other people. She is, I think, sometimes maybe a mix of extroverted and introverted. I think she really gets a lot of energy from being around other people. And at the same time, sometimes needs to recharge at the end of a long day. And in the same way, she's a mix of extroverted, introverted. I think she can also be a balance of silly and serious of, when she knows that it's important to kind of lock into a conversation, she can definitely do that.
What kind of person do you think would be a good fit for her?
I think someone who is, I was mentioning her bent for activism. So I think someone who is definitely social justice oriented. I think someone who is kind and warm and grounded, especially in terms of kind of more specific political beliefs. I think she is, pretty deeply embedded in her Judaism as well as her anti-Zionism. And so I think someone who kind of shares similar values and beliefs would be especially important as someone that she can align with in that way.
Is there anything else that if you were manifesting the ideal person that you would want the universe to hear and put out there?
I think just someone who is really open-hearted in the sense of someone who can really appreciate Tori for the incredible person that she is. I think that kind of something that I was going to mention as well upon like first meeting her is that she can be very quirky and she really has her own idiosyncrasies like we all do. And so she can, sometimes be pretty direct and really say what she means. And so I think someone who like sees her for everything that she is in terms of that directness and honesty as coming from that place of caring about the people in the world around her is pretty essential to understanding who she is.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of a sense. We'll get this going and hopefully we find her somebody.
Yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it. Thanks for looping me in.
We just heard from Sarah, Tori's twin. If you live in the Philly area and think that you or someone you know is a good fit for Tori, reach out to us and let's make a love match.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. If you or someone you know is looking for love, reach out. Maybe you'll be the one to shoot that Cupid's arrow. We present new love seekers every episode. So subscribe to our podcast, Calling All Cupids, and help us grow the love by leaving a review.
Our website is called callingallcupids.com. You can also connect with us on social media. Check us out and help us spread the love.